Eric KILBURN was a vital force in the Nameless Coffeehouse and was the director for several years in the 1980s. And he's written a great catalog of songs that have been sung and recorded by people like Arlo Guthrie and Priscilla Herdman and Lucy Blue Tremblay. He, with his recording studio that Dean was talking about, has recorded over 800 albums of some of the great folk singers in New England. So we all owe him for all of these things a big debt of gratitude, and we're going to love his music. Please welcome Eric KILBURN.
All right. One of the perils of getting older and living is that more and more of your friends pass away. And this song I wrote for a buddy of mine, Stuart Ferguson. I started it when he passed away just before the pandemic, and I finished it when my buddy David Surratt, who was a beloved New Hampshire guitar player, and just a couple of months ago, I'm so grieving from that. And just last week, a man who worked with me in my studio for 14 years died in a car crash in Lee, New Hampshire. So I'm going to dedicate this to all three of those wonderful men who I've known for years. And this is it's called Nobody Told Me. Nobody told me about this part, the burden that comes with a beating heart. When you love someone so deep and long, and turn around and they're gone, we wail to the heavens, we rage at God, we shake with the power of a lightning rod as we gather here, crying in the pews for all the things we don't get to choose. Nobody told me about this ache. I shake my head like there's some mistake, some bad dream I will awaken from, and I'll hear your laughter once again. And we search for the answers, but the questions are wrong, and all we can do is carry on, reminded why the old man sings the blues for all the things we have to lose. We've come so far, forever tempting fate. We thought we were in charge. That was our first mistake. Nobody told me about this love. Was it something I should have been scared of? The risks we somehow have to take, and the best choices we could ever make. So we open our hearts and life comes in. It's a roll of the dice and the odds are slim that we ever get out of this place without paying dues for all the things we have to lose, for all the things we don't get to choose. Thank you. There's a friend of mine, an old friend of mine who lives not far from here, who appears in this next song. This is a This is called Tell Me a Story. Late night on the highway, trying to stay awake. My mind turns over the fun and mistakes as I started dreaming about my old girlfriends. I'd like to see you all one more time again. You could tell me a story, I would be convinced. Say you had no one better before or since. You might be lying, that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver and I like it that way. I remember Sandy, she was number one. She was older and graceful, I was desperate and young. Now good loving takes an hour, I took a minute and a half. Sandy was kind and had the good sense not to laugh. Then there was Susan, she had a smile so sweet. She said, come on over, we'll play trick or treat. Then she got out the handcuffs and the candles too. I didn't know what S&M was, and now I do. Tell me a story, I would be convinced. Say you had no one better before or since. You might be lying, that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver and I like it that way. So come over here, darling, like you used to do. Forget I'm married, forget I'm married to you. Let's get real close now until the morning breaks. Maybe we could fall asleep before the baby wakes. My wife tells me a story, and I am convinced. Says she's had no one better before or since. Hope she ain't lying, that'd be okay. Time is a great deceiver, and I like it that way. Time is a great deceiver and I like it that way. Last tune here, this is a tune that when I was a young boy, we would have these family Thanksgivings where my uncles and aunts would drive hundreds of miles to somebody's house, and all my cousins would get there, and we'd kind of catch up on the gossip and just hang out. We had a big family, and I remember watching my dad and my uncles and just kind of taking notes about, okay, this is the way men behave, you know? Oh. So this is a song kind of about those days. It's called Tall Tree. Thank you so much for listening tonight and sticking it out this late evening here and coming out. It's the first live gig I've done in front of real human beings in 2 years. It's really great. So thank you so much. And there are CDs in the back there if you want to Check them out. I have a little gospel group that plays kind of secular gospel music, I guess. We're called Meeting Across the Water, where our membership is half black and half white. We do a little mixture of black and white spiritual tradition tunes, and that's out there too. It's a pretty fun record. Anyway, this is called Tall Tree. Looking at the man at the head of the table, saying grace with a natural ease, cutting turkey, cracking jokes with my uncles, these men like tall oak trees. Everyone's on their best behavior, steer clear of politics and race. Your cousin's got a new black boyfriend, don't mention that to your uncle's face. And I never dreamed this day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. These men were all sons of the Midwest. Their work and family was all they knew. Never talked much about their own lives, but they wanted to know about you. One by one they've all gone on, and now the table looks so strange. And I never dreamed this day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. The clan is gathered and we're holding hands. I gaze across at every face, looking at the man at the head of the table, as I bow my head in thanks and for grace. This family's not a Rockwell painting. There are struggles, and there have been fights. But when I think of the strength we've come from, I'm pretty sure we'll be all right. My sister is playing piano as the children call the tunes. I still feel like I'm 8 years old, but I'm the oldest man in the room. And I never dreamed this day would come, the man at the head of the table. I am the one, I am the tall tree. I never thought I'd be passing on what was handed down to me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dean. Thanks, Dan and Mark.